drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
大家好 Welcome back to Edupedia World Videos. Thanks for joining my Mandarin lesson series. And in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to ask what and who and etc. Okay, so just a brief outline here. So in this lesson, I will show you how to form questions with what and who. So in the future, if you want to interact with Mandarin speaker, you can always ask a simple item, what is this, what is that, or get to know your environments, be it in a workplace or being introduced, being brought to a networking party. So from there, you can ask, who is this, who is that, to get to know more people. So in the future, you will gain more vocabulary by interacting with Mandarin speaking people. Okay, and of course, I will show you some answers which you can do for now, so you will know how to respond. Okay, so let's start. So the first one is asking who is this? In Mandarin, we ask 这是谁? Okay, and you may have noticed this is the new word, and the new word here means who, 谁. So you can see that the sequence of questions is different from English in such a way that 这是谁 in literal translation is this is who. The answer is this is me. And the way we speak in Chinese, structure-wise, grammar-wise, is still the same. 这是我, and in literal translation, it's still this is me. So what we do when forming a question is just very simple, just to replace the answer with the question word. So 我 becomes 谁 when you want to ask a question of who is this. Okay? In another words, you place the question word like who, what, etc. at where you expect the answer is. And then as you ask 这是谁, you are expecting the person to answer in such a way that they replace your question word into the answer, which is 我. So in the whole sentence, it is 这是我. Okay, it may not be sound so intuitive to you if you are a native speaker of English, but to us, to some other language speakers, it should be like this in forming a question. So back to this word, 谁, the meaning is who, and this is the pinyin. And the radical is this one. As you have seen before, it is also the radical of 谢, which means thanks. And the radical is commonly used in speech acts. Like because you are inquiring someone, you are asking a question. It's in the speech act. And the arrangement is horizontal. So you have this component, the radical, and also the component here. So I will show you how I write the word 谁. So the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 谁. Okay, and of course you can always replace who is this into who is that. So it's just as simple as saying 那是谁 if you want to ask who is that. And of course, the answer can vary as what you have learned in the previous lesson. So I'm not gonna repeat. If you wish to, you can always refer to the previous lesson. Okay, because you have learned the word who, 谁, you can also ask whose. It is very simple. When you ask whose is that, you just have to ask 那是谁的? Okay, and the answer will be 那是他们的. Okay, so this is the sentence that you have learned previously. And as you can see, when asking a whose question, we are just substituting the pronouns here or the answers here into the question word 谁 over here. And again, it's like asking who, but you are just adding another word 的 behind the question word. So it is asking about who possessed it. You are asking about the possession. 的. So it is as simple as placing the word who at where you expect the answer is when you are forming a question. Alright, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, and this is a very simple question. What is this? So what is this? The way we ask is 这是什么? And the answer you will expect is 这是 something. Okay, so for now, I'm not teaching you anything for now. It will be in the future lesson. But for now, let's learn this question so you can expand your vocabulary using this question. Learn outside from this lesson series and from the real life, the Mandarin speakers around you. Alright, so you have two new words here. One is this one, 神. Okay, 神. It doesn't really have its own meaning. Only when it's combined with the next word, it has the meaning of what. So the radical is this one, the one you have seen before. And the arrangement is horizontal with the left and right component. So now I'll show you how I write 神. 1, 2, 3, 4. 神. The next one is 么. Sometimes it will be used in yes and no question, like what you have seen before, 么. But for this, it is not that common. It doesn't usually have a meaning of its own. Okay, the radical is the stroke here. The arrangement is simple. Now I'll show you how to write this simple word here. 1, 2, 3. Just 3 strokes. Alright. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So the last question is asking about an object. You're asking about nouns. But now if you wish to learn about verbs, this is how you can get started by asking, what are you doing? It is a great way to start to expand your vocabulary in verbs. By asking Mandarin speaker, what are you doing? And they'll answer you what they are doing. And from there, you learn the vocabulary. You learn the verbs. The question, what are you doing? The way to ask is 你在做什么? If you noticed, when we ask question, the tone at the end of the sentence remain loyal to the tones. We don't raise our pitch when we are asking a question. We'll stick to what the opinion is, because we naturally know the person is asking a question because that is the question word. We don't need extra tones of pitch to know another person is asking a question. Alright? 你在做什么? People will answer you, 我在, followed by an action. So hopefully the answers you get from the Mandarin speaker is a serious and honest one. Don't get pranked. So choose your friends wisely. You have 2 new words here. So one is this one and the other one this one. So let's look at the word 在. Okay, 在. It is giving the verb the attribution of continuous action. So you can think of it as adding an ing after a verb. And in other contexts, it has the meaning of at. Okay, at, like saying where you are at, your location, or the time you are at. It is used in many situations. Okay, the radical is this one, the one at the bottom. The arrangement is simple, and now I'll show you how I write it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 在. The next one is 做, do. This is the pinyin. The radical is what's on the leftmost. The arrangement is horizontal with 3 components here. Alright, now I will show you how to write it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright? Next one. This is to show you how to ask yes and no question. Okay? So here I'm just gonna start with, is this mine? So you have 2 ways of asking, is this mine? So one is, 这是不是我的? And the other way is, 这是我的吗? Okay? If you can recall, you have learned all these words already. So as I said, 吗 is the question word for yes or no. And the other way of asking is 是不是? Okay? So you would expect some answers here. So one is yes, 是, and no, 不是. And of course, if they want to assure you, then they will say, 这不是你的, meaning this is not yours. Okay, so the way to form a negative sentence is very simple. Remember, if you want to say, this is yours, it is 这是你的. To make it a negative sentence, just add the negative word not, and in Chinese, 不, in front of the verb, which is 是 in this case. So in the end, you get the word 不是. And here there is no new word, so I don't have to write on the screen. But if you have noticed, you have learned this word as 不, which has the fourth tone. Okay, previously you are using this in 不好, which means not good. Okay, but in this case, we are saying that this is 不是, which is the second tone. Why is there a change in tones? So there is a rule for this pronunciation. So if you are pronouncing the fourth tone, like this one, 是, you have to use 不. So in the end, it becomes 不是. But 不, the fourth tone, it is used for the rest of the tones, first, second, and third tones. For example, 好 is the third tone. So when you are saying not good, it is 不好. Alright? We'll use this more often so you can be more familiar with this in the future. So I have taught you a number of ways to ask a question, but I haven't taught you any answers. Here are the common answers that you would use for now. So here I'm going to teach you how to say I don't know. So the way you say I don't know is 我不知道. Okay, so you have know the first two words 我 and 不. 知道 is know. Okay, the K-N-O-W, know. So here is the individual details of all the individual characters. So 知 is know in general. It can stand on its own. This is the pinyin. The radical is this one, the one on the left. The arrangement is horizontal with left and right component. And here's how I write 知. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 知. The next one is 道. In this context, this has to be combined with another word to have a meaning of know. So when it's standalone, it has quite a lot of meanings. So I'm not going to state anything here. So I'm just writing the pinyin here. 道. The radical is at the bottom left corner. The arrangement is enclosure, wrapping up the left and bottom corner. So here is how I write 道. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It has 12 strokes in total. Okay, so you have, from this you know how to say I don't know, which is 我不知道. The next one is I don't understand, which is quite a standard answer to questions that you don't understand, or anything that is thrown at you and you don't understand. Okay, so the way to say I don't understand is 我不明白. Okay, so these are the two new words here. So 明白 means understand. Okay, when you break it down, 明 here means shine, because as you can see is made out of sun and the moon, if you can remember. So you can imagine when the sun and the moon are together, they shine. Okay, and radical is this one, the sun on the left, and arrangement is horizontal. Okay, here's how I write Ming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ming. Okay, the next one is Bai. Taken out of context, it means white. The radical is itself, and the arrangement is simple. So here's how I write Bai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that each individual word has individual meaning, but only when it's combined it means something. Okay, so in this case, Ming and Bai has two different meaning when it's separated, but only when it's combined as Ming Bai, then it means understand. Okay, so that's the end of the lesson, and here is just a recap of what Chinese characters you have learned in this lesson. And if you have done the revision properly, you should know what each individual character means, and you will know how to speak these English words in Chinese. Okay, next up there will be exercise as usual to test if you have understood, and from the exercise I want to enhance your learning as well. So the exercise will be fun and challenging. So I will see you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching. 谢谢，再见。